Project Sapient is a podcast meant to engage our brothers and sisters in the law enforcement and military communities in conversations that we all know we need to have. All opinions you'll hear are our own, are protected by our First Amendment of the United States Constitution, and in no way reflect or are meant to reflect the opinion of any specific agency, officer, or service member. Some opinions may be controversial. Listener discretion is advised. Enjoy. Yeehaw, motherfucker.
I like it.
Guys, Project Sapient in the house. Check us out, projectsapient.org. Shoot us an email, projectsapient2020@gmail.com. Want to say thank you to our tens of thousands of listeners. Every week, every episode, you guys make us feel awesome. You make us feel like we're doing something right.
Yeah. Or they're just as crazy as us.
They're just as fucking crazy as we are, man. We got a bunch of supporters. You're going to check them out on our website. We want to give a shout out to a few special ones. Till Valhalla, AAA Police Supply, HAVOK Journal, our partners at the Profile and HAVOK Podcast, Fit Cops, and 22 Mohawks. Everybody else, check them out on our website. You know we got probably, like 50 of them now?
Yes.
So, we missed an episode last week, buddy.
Yeah, actually.
What happened?
I was running around last week, so it was pretty cool. I coordinated this whole training with our friends. I'm not going to reveal any units or anything, but it was phenomenal training. We did a lot of hostage rescue, MACTAC type training.
MACTAC!
Which, for those who don't know, massive attacks, basically. MAC attack.
MACTAC!
So think about Mumbai, years ago. Think
MACTAC!
Dude, are you going to start doing these fucking sounds now?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Yes, I am.
So, everybody, we got this new thing we're using, Riverside. Looks pretty cool.
MACTAC.
Yeah, exactly. So Pete's going to be fucking...
I'm fucking around the entire time.
If you hear me, all of a sudden, this loud, thump, it's me drop kicking fucking Pete, and he's knocked out.
That's everybody clapping at you.
Dude.
It won't stop. Okay, keep going.
Too late. Oh, my God. Oh, stop playing with that.
Sorry.
That's what she said.
Giggity.
Anyways, so I was running around.
Take your clothes off. I mean, what?
I was running around training with the Army. And again, hostage rescue, great, phenomenal cross training, kind of seen their tactics, seen our tactics, kind of, put our heads together, it was a very, very good. So obviously I was extremely busy last week. Didn't even have time to really come up for air to be able to record, but hey, I'm back. We're back. We're
Guess
back.
who's back?
Yep. Guess who's back? So
it was always interesting doing those trainings with a lot of the military guys, right? Because and you'd see the different. I did a ton of it, man, and you'd see a different vibe from each group.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Army guys would do things a little bit differently. The Navy guys would do things a little bit differently.
Yep.
I mean, it was great to be able to get bits and pieces from everybody.
A lot of them, though, that you get the same answers. That SWAT, we move slower.
Yes.
That's usually because our tempo is different than their tempo.
Yep.
Their tempo, because our tempo is more methodical.
Yep.
Well, even though theirs is methodical, but they're moving at a speed where they're trying not to get shot, essentially, because they're going after direct.
And they're more of a destroy type of mission too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's very generalized of me to say it, but I guess guys know what we're talking about when we say this shit.
For the civilians, these guys have the specific task where they go after Osama bin Laden, basically, or some other high-profile terrorists out there. So their training basically shows, reflects that when they train with us law enforcement. And these cross-trainings are great because, one, we get to collaborate, get to meet, get to see their SOPs, our SOPs. Heaven forbid, should a Red Dawn scenario occur here, guess what's going to happen? I mean, you got close to 1 million cops on the streets. Actually, I'd say maybe 300,000 will actually fight, and the rest are going to go somewhere else.
The good thing is that you also got about 300 million gun owners.
I saw this. I don't know if it's real, if it's true, but America is one of the top 5 toughest countries to invade because of that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
I was like, oh, okay. Again, I don't know if it's true, but here's the thing. The amount of licensed LTCs that come through the PDs, I'm like, dude, everybody puts it, it's like, that's all good. But to me, it's like, hell yeah,
Although you got to think about it, right? Think of a place like Texas.
Yes.
Which it's known for its guns.
Oh, Arizona.
That whole area.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is going to mess around with those people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can do a lot of damage in places like Boston or big urban areas where it's hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Different like out there, you shitting me? Motherfuckers are M60s downrange all fucking day.
Thing is, one time in Arizona, this isn't what the episode's about, by the way. No. We're just kind of shooting the shit right now. But I was in Arizona and we were walking along, I think was it Tucson? No, like Scottsdale area, a little bit more north of that. And I seen this dude with a 6-shooter, like open carry. Yeah. Dude, I would trust him with a 6-shooter like I trust my son with a firearm. I'm like, dude, you have no business carrying. Like, trust me, he would not be somebody I'd be looking to.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm immediately like, dude.
Well, that's a little bit of a segue into what the episode's about. The mental state.
Well, yeah, that, and actually, one thing I did want to touch on this episode also is because I just finished a course through Force Science called Human Performance. I actually want to touch on that.
Yeah. I'm listening.
Okay, and I don't know where Pete's going. I'm distracted now. Where are you going?
I gotta pee. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, so human performance in terms of law enforcement and training at the range and stuff like that. So actually, I want to talk about that because that is still fresh on my mind and what was talked about in the class and our training and everything. And we always go back to training all the time. And this great kind of question popped up in my Force Science Advanced Analyst course, right? A question was asked, how important is an endurance? No, sorry. Let me bring up the question because it was a very good question that was asked about decision making. Okay, so in terms of decision making, how important is it for basically a police officer to work in that environment where the decision making has to be as sharp as the officer's human performance out there?
What do you mean?
So essentially, if you are a police officer on the job, you're in tip-top shape, your firearms is right on, your everything is good. Like, let's say you're that model cop. Would you expect that decision-making process for that officer to be top-notch?
In an ideal world?
Yeah, that's what I mean. In an ideal world. Yeah, in an ideal world, that's where
in reality?
In reality, it doesn't really happen that way. Okay. One thing is most of it is training. Yeah. It comes back to training and how the, the checkbox training has seriously destroyed that for the decision making. And why, to me, why is it that we as, here's the example I gave, all right? I wrote this right in this discussion just so you can kind of get an idea of what we're talking about. So I wrote a quote from the research that Armin Kabil conducted. So this was a research paper I read. It made me think of times when I was heavily involved in training in the martial arts, and when I would end up grappling with an opponent, the sensory that I most relied on was touch. Yeah. Right. So our sense of touch causes us to react quicker than vision. Because that, think about it. If you accidentally put your hand on a hot stove, you're going to be like, holy shit. Yep. It's not your eyes that are, oh, my hand is on a hot stove. Now I need to remove it.
I'm sure Force Science has data on.
Well, exactly.
On that too.
That's the thing. It was a bunch of research papers we had to read about it. So I can tell you my opponent, just by that sense of touch, just by movement alone, I can tell what my opponent was attempting to do. All this was not a decision-making process for me at all because it was automatic. My body was already reacting to his movements. He was reacting to my movements. It was an automatic thing.
But you had been conditioned to automatically react.
Exactly. So that's the thing. I did not plan, but I did not have a plan, but I more or less reacted based on the stimuli the opponent was presenting to me.
Right.
That's the automatic side of it, right? Even the same thing when I'm stand-up fighting an opponent. I'm not making any decision, but I'm reacting to stimuli that's presented to me automatically. Yep. So, that famous scene in The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise,
right,
where the samurai tells him too many minds. No mind.
Yeah.
Even Bruce Lee said, be like water.
Yep.
Water can be still. Water can cut through a mountain. Be like water. On a more personal note, I even wrote about this. Deployed to Iraq back in 2005. I'm going to provide one of many situations that I was in. My squad and another squad were mounting up to go on a mission. At some point during the mission, the other squad hit an IED, destroyed the Humvee. Body parts were blown everywhere. Chaos, searching for secondary threats and ambush sites. My mind switched off, and I was in a complete automatic mode. I literally reverted back to my training, and thank God I took my training seriously, which probably saved my butt a whole bunch of times over there. And Kibble writes, athletes often report that their motor reactions evolve from a given situation without any consciously controlled decision making.
There is the key word that I was waiting for you to say it.
Yep.
Conscious.
Yeah. Without any consciously controlled decision making process.
Yeah.
Right. I remember during that whole incident, when I was in that automatic mode, I was changing frequencies in my gun truck to match air support that was coming in. Meanwhile, I could still hear the screams, the pain from the other soldiers, yet I was focused on my job to ensure that we had the appropriate resources there. Other soldiers were tending to wounded. Once medevac landed, I switched gears to help him load the wounded. And again, no decision-making, just action.
I can give you my 2 cents whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so here's the thing, like, one of the comments, so one of the, another police officer in that class commented, and I like this quote. I kind of forgot about it. It's from your people. Uh-huh. You see, his ears perked up. What? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. We don't rise to the level of our expectations. We fall to the level of our training.
Yep.
And it was Archilochus. Am I saying that right?
Let me see the spelling.
I don't know. You're the Greek guy.
Where is it?
Right here.
Oh. Archilochos.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, there it is. There it is. Okay, so, but how true is that?
It's very true. And I mean, I have a couple things to say about it. Surprise.
Go ahead.
I always see that last statement. I agree with it.
Yep.
You're going to fall to your worst day of training, right? I look at everything that you were talking about was bringing up the word conscious to my mind. Right. You could put a 5-year-old in the exact same situation that you were in Iraq, and the 5-year-old's not going to react the same way. Mm-hmm. You're reverting back to your training subconsciously.
Yes.
People at Force Science, they're brilliant.
Yep.
But in the entire science arena, when you bring up the word subconscious, everybody knows it's there.
Yeah.
But it's not tangible yet. You can't really study it yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We're not at that level.
No.
And so you're trying to make sense of things that we can't figure out yet as a species, right?
Yes.
So your subconscious, it's kind of like driving a car.
Yes.
The amount, you guys might not know this. I think Iman knows this. I'm a massive physics geek.
Yeah.
Right? When you're driving a car or a motorcycle or something that your fine motor skills, your gross motor skills, your minute motor skills, everything plays a role into it.
Yep.
And when you break down what has to happen for you to actually drive that car in a straight line and make a right turn and all that, the forces, everything that your brain is calculating and making those minute split-second decisions is making the car run smoothly.
Oh, yeah.
Right? You're conditioned to that. Nobody has gotten on a motorcycle and been like a pro rider.
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody has gone into combat and been a good soldier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Without the conditioning, without
you
the training,
conditioned. That's the
without
thing.
all that. So the importance of our subconscious is one of the biggest things in my mind with all of this stuff. You ever heard like when people like talk bad about themselves, or sometimes when I say like, oh man, I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I catch myself doing that because I give advice to people and I say, never talk bad about yourself because your subconscious is picking that up and it's going to make it fucking true.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
subconsciously.
Here's the thing. Like again, that saying by Seneca, we suffer more in imagination than we do in reality.
Yeah. 100%.
That's exactly it right there.
100%.
And that's the thing with the training that we were doing and the training that we condition ourselves in physically, mentally. Again, it's a holistic thing. So it's not that me consciously / subconsciously. What we try to do is take that subconscious and have it push up a little more.
Right.
So we can basically
more aware of it.
And we, in our mind, again, like my mind switched off and I was like, doing all the buttons and everything. And I could hear everything going on around me because, again, heightened awareness because of the intensity of that situation. My mind, my mind took everything in, and I was working. I look around, and I was zoned in the zone.
Yeah.
And it was one of those, like I think I described before, like out of body sort of experience where I'm on autopilot.
Right.
Like I was literally on autopilot.
You probably took a long time remembering everything that you did too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably took you a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And guys listening to this, cops listening to this, soldiers listening to this, last week something came to mind where I was like, oh my God. And the level of detail that I was doing, like for the last 5 years after the incident, it was very abstract. It was very general.
Yep.
Like I remember doing X, Y, and Z, but now the sub bullets X.1, X.2, X.3 started coming back to mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, I did all that.
Well, that's the thing though. It comes to your mind. So why we AAR ourselves, here's the thing, right? After an officer involved shooting, when are we recommended to do our statements?
Not nowhere near the incident.
48 to 72 hours after the incident, because of that. Yep. Because of that memory. Because it's going to take you that long to start remembering everything that occurred.
Your brain, in an OIS, your brain is doing some weird shit, right? Yeah. Your body's doing some weird shit. I've seen a video, and I've seen officer-involved shootings in person. I've been there. Without giving shit up and getting in trouble. Yeah. I'll give you an example. A training video I had seen.
Okay.
There was an officer-involved shooting out in the Midwest.
Okay.
Late 2000s.
Yep.
Early 2000s, sorry. The guy gets in the shooting. It was a great shoot all day long, and it was one of the first, dash cam type of things when those started coming out.
Yeah.
And they're talking to him, and he's like, I washed my dog. He made the statement.
Yeah.
I washed my dog. And they're all looking at him, and they're like, what? And he's like, I washed my dog.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck is he talking about? He didn't know.
No, he had no idea.
That's why, a lot of times when and this is good for the civilians to realize this. Guys, get this out to civilian friends. When there's an officer-involved shooting, you can go to a group. Let's say there was 3 or 4 cops involved. You can go to that group within that 24, 48 hours, and you can ask them, how many rounds did you fire? And you'll be like, 4. Pete, 2. Mike, 1. John, 0. And everybody's wrong.
Yeah.
They're not lying.
No, but here's the thing. Why are we so, again, with officer-involved shooting, why are we, because it's treated as a homicide investigation, right? Because essentially it's a homicide, a justified homicide, I guess we don't call it. Why is it important that every officer has their own statement? Why do we separate witnesses during a murder? So that way we get their
power of influence too.
Well, exactly. We get their perspective, we get their answers, their version, the whole 9 yards. Because if I shot and killed a bad guy, you may have been standing 3, 4 feet behind me, and you were like, "Oh, all I saw was I'm and shoot like blah blah blah," and to you may not have seen the threat.
Yep.
Where I find here's some disturbing things that I learned at this human performance course. Certain departments have taken officers involved in shootings and taken them back right to the scene.
Holy shit.
That's a huge no-no.
During the investigation?
Yeah. They had them do a walkthrough of what they exactly did.
Good God.
I mean...
when was this? In the 60s?
No. This is recent type stuff. From last 10 years, I'll say.
Good God.
Yeah. It's again, when you're talking, it's about because you could make a mistake, which it has happened to these officers where they zigged instead of zagged, and now there's surveillance footage that shows them, oh no, you zagged instead of zigged. Now you're lying.
I'll tell you a personal story.
Yeah.
About 4 years ago.
Yep.
A relative of mine.
Yep.
And a friend of mine were in a shooting.
Okay.
And it was the suspect died. It was a clean shot. Everything good shoot, all that stuff.
Okay.
And protocol here is the officers involved whether they pull the trigger or not, they go to the hospital.
Yes.
Right? Because, they're going to have stresses and stressors and all that stuff.
Yes.
So I remember they all went to the hospital, and I went behind the ambulance on a couple of them.
Okay.
Walk in and check on them.
Okay.
And there was nobody there.
Okay.
And so I'm standing around. I mean, they have these officers in separate rooms, and there's nobody there. So I looked at the ER, whoever the doctor was in charge of everything, and I said, "Hey, I need you to do two things." Now, mind you, I was tacked up.
Yep.
So he had no choice. He was going to listen to me.
Yeah.
Just from the appearance.
Yeah.
I was like, "Can you get all these guys in like kind of their own ward?
Yeah.
Like 5 rooms,
Well, separate. Yeah.
separate rooms, but like 5 rooms next to each other."
Yep.
And he was like, "Why?" And I said, "Because I want them to be isolated." And he was like, "Why?" And I said, "Because there's nobody here, A, watching them.
Yep.
And B, somebody can just walk in and start talking to one of these guys.
Yes.
It's not to protect their fucking story. It's not this and that, blah, 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 blah." So I stood there, bro. I got them in 5 rooms.
Yep.
And I stood in the middle of the floor, making sure that nobody was coming down. And the one person that came down was one of the union reps. And I was like, "You have to wait because we're waiting for the union attorneys too."
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're waiting for everybody. And it was like, it was so dumbfounding to me that in such a major city where there's been officer involved shootings, they didn't have the process down.
Interesting.
And it could have, anybody from the media could have walked into one of those rooms.
That sucks. See, that's like dangerous, where even if it's a victim, like witnesses, like you can't have these outside influences tainting the investigation. From
a victim to the officer to whoever, they need that downtime. That subconscious needs to reset.
Oh, it does. That's why it takes 40, again, because here's the thing, that this is science. It takes, after a critical incident, which we talked about that way, early on in episodes, after a critical incident, the body needs anywhere between 48 to 72 hours to decompress. And the reason why it's such an issue with police, because, I could have dealt yesterday with, an infant death, SIDS, all that horrible stuff. And I'm on my 2 days off and I'm going right back to work on Monday, the following day. Yeah. I haven't had that proper 48, 72 hour rest because guess what? Now I got ordered in on my day off and now I dealt with a horrific car crash. Yep. And now the cycle repeats itself.
The body doesn't get enough time. You know where I've realized this, going back to patrol and going on midnights? I've realized the fog that I'm in. Like, I thought of something yesterday that happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, it started bothering me. Not that I needed anything, but I was like, oh, fuck, that sucked.
Yeah.
Right. And I said to myself, that was 2 weeks ago. Why didn't I go after it before that 2 weeks? Because I was in a fog the entire time.
Exactly.
I didn't get my rest. I didn't get my 8 hours of sleep. I just kept going.
Well, that's the thing. When I told you about, the contact shot I almost had in the big city. And 3 days later on my way to training, I had a full blown, all of a sudden panic attack. Yeah. And that was it. I didn't give myself that time because leading after that, dude, I was like doing, late night trash pickups and doing like GPSs on cars and shit. So, I was still going.
Right.
I never gave myself time to relax. And that's the issue right there with the decision-making process is when you don't allow the body to rest, what do you think is going to happen with that decision-making process?
Oh, it's going to get worse.
So here's an interesting fact from Force Science. A police officer, or a human, we'll say a human, who has not had proper sleep for 20 hours has the blood alcohol content of 0.10.
Yeah.
How, and that's not even, doesn't have the blood content, but the individual acts like. So let me rephrase that. He doesn't have the blood alcohol. Obviously, he wasn't boozing. What I'm saying is his actions, his or her actions, their demeanor, their slurred speech, all that stuff, is that equivalent to somebody who would be a 0.10?
I'm looking at a text.
Yep.
Of somebody was texting me when I was leaving work. The first 2 lines were gibberish.
Yep.
Gibberish. And then I said, I can't see straight. I'm going to put the phone down.
Okay.
I had stayed up for 2 days. It was 48 hours, a complete 48 hours. I've done that before and I haven't been that bad. Now, obviously, I'm getting older.
Yeah.
But legit, if you look at my text as an investigator, you'd be like, dude, were you shit-faced?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. That's a scientific fact.
Right.
Like, again, I remember back in Iraq where I was up for like 30 hours straight during operations. Granted, I was like in my early 20s, so different drive, but
It's
these
still
days,
gonna...
it affected me. Trust me, it affected me. I was like nearly hallucinating.
Because you get into, no matter how old or how tough or how conditioned you are, there's physiological aspects to this, right? The brain is dumping chemicals through your body.
Trying to keep you going.
Trying to keep you going. Your muscles are dumping all kinds of shit into your bloodstream.
Dude, I was shit after that 30-hour operation. I was like, I think I probably slept for 2 days. But I felt like, here's the thing. How many times when you've done SWAT ops, let's say, you've got a week of fucking holy shit warrants after warrants and you're hitting doors and it's a busy fucking week and whatever. And all of a sudden your day's off, you're fucking done.
You're burned.
Like dead. And that's the thing. Like when I worked in the big city for the transit system, my first 4 days on as a brand new guy, I was working doubles every single fucking day.
Yep.
On my 2 days off, I'm trying to recover from working 4 days straight.
There's a reason why, without divulging info, JSOC.
Okay.
At the JSOC facilities.
Yep.
Have you seen some of these facilities?
No.
They have isolation chambers for people.
Okay.
They have water tanks for people.
Yep.
They actually listened to people like Force Science, and they brought in people that after you've done
whatever
your thing and you come back and you have to decompress.
Actually, you know what? Sorry, I stand corrected. I do know of one.
Of what?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about,
I
right?
know what you're talking about.
I know. I'll put it to you this way. I know of a group that's not in the U.S. military, but goes there into those areas. And when they come back from an op, they have the ability to use not only just a shower, get a massage, an isolation chamber. It's amazing. And I'm not saying that it fixes everything, but it helps.
Oh, here's the thing. Anything helps.
Exactly.
Especially with the mental stresses of being a first responder, military. Here's the thing. I'm not discounting ER docs, ER nurses, because they're in the same boat of nonstop crisis. And
one of my best friends is an ER doc in the UK. We text all the time.
That's the thing. They're in the same boat that the human performance decision making is extremely important.
Now put in the factors of, think about that scenario that you were talking about, warrant service day after day after day after day, shooting, stabbing, dead baby, this, blah, 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 blah. And then you pull into your driveway and you're like, I'm about to go upstairs and take a shower and fuck, I didn't take the trash out.
Yeah. No,
I didn't pick up dinner.
That's the thing. That's the thing. So it's funny. So today, my wife, we were talking. So I'm redoing a neurological exam because the VA is the VA. So I got to do it the right way. But it's funny because my wife said, it was mentioning to me how when I come home after a busy few days, I don't want to do shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm burned. Like, again, like you said, I'll pull in and the trash barrels are out on the driveway. I'm like, fuck, I gotta bring him in now.
I lost it the other fucking day. I pulled in and my trash barrels had fallen over.
Yeah.
Because some asshole raccoons had gotten into it. I lost it. I picked it up and I fucking threw it across. And I'm like, you idiot. After I was like, you just made 10 times worse of a fucking mess.
Exactly. But that's the reality of the stresses of the job, though, when it eventually gets to you. And that's the thing is to me, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to have that type of, I guess, revolving door over and over and over again, in the scheduling.
Can I make a statement?
Yeah.
I want to make a statement to the people listening. I want you guys, it's 28 minutes into the show, almost 29 minutes into the show. I want you guys to screen record or take this clip. I'll probably put it on TikTok or something like that. I want you to tell your spouses to fucking listen to the next minute.
Okay. Go on.
When we come home, it's not personal.
Yeah.
Stop fucking around. Stop taking it personal. We're coming home to a place where we think we can decompress and that we're safe. Mm-hmm. It has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with how we care about you or the kids or anything like that. I'm happy because I'm in a household that understands that.
Yeah.
I know that there's a lot of households that don't.
Yes. I see it all the time at work.
So no matter how many peer support units and how many this and that and information's out there, I'm giving you the goddamn honest truth. Very plain and simple. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with what this guy or girl just went through. Stop fucking around.
Here's the thing. I mean, I remember one day I come home and, again, my wife realized that it was a rough day, right? I come home and she just starts right off the bat, right? And what I did is took a deep breath. Instead of flipping out, I did the right thing. I said, hey, listen, stop.
No offense to her, but she should know better. She was in the military.
Thing is, though, yes, but at the same time, it's her.
And no offense, I love her. She's awesome.
Yeah. No, but and I get it. There are times I do drop the ball. Like, hey, you got to make sure you make these fucking phone calls, whatever. Like, I get it, but there are certain days, like you said, we come home and we're like, what the fuck just happened today? Like, it's just it's one of those days. And here's the thing, fucking pencil pushers, whatever, that work in a cubicle. No, it's not the day that, I missed my deadline. Now my boss is going to yell at me. No, it's not that kind of fucking day. What I'm talking about is the day where you have to deal with a death of an infant, and a egregious crime that you just had to witness and get the victim and car chase and just all, it was one of those days. And, I get home and I told my wife, I'm like, hey, listen, not a good day today.
Yeah.
And she knew it. Like,
yeah.
She stopped quick and that's it. I told her I need a few minutes.
Again, guys, I want you to listen to what we just said.
But that's the thing, though. It's also incumbent on us too to communicate that to our spouses, right? Significant others.
Yeah. Let them know.
That's the thing that I think what makes like my marriage work, your marriage work. Like, we communicate that right away. Like, hey, today's not the day.
And I'll put it out there. If somebody's significant other wants to email us, and ask us about one of your actions, email us. We're not going to defend Officer Tommy Smith. If he's done wrong.
He's done wrong.
He's done wrong.
I'll call him out.
But we'll tell you, and you know me, Iman. You know I am very, very fair. I look at things from a bird's eye view.
Yeah.
I will tell you what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right.
Yep.
So if they want to reach out to us, we have plenty of experience in this shit.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's the thing. And I think this episode today is actually kind of went on a turn. So
we had something else planned.
But this is actually, it's a very important topic to talk about, especially with the fatigue that officers go through and the constant work that we do over and over again. And here's the thing, right now, we're just talking inner stuff.
Right.
Never mind the external.
Yep.
If you want to get into external, politicians, fuck you.
Yeah.
Whatever activists that are out there, you name it. Like, so we have all these external forces that also are on us. And here's the thing, right? So yesterday we went out and just OffSec, I'm not going to reveal too much. The other day we went out and did some stuff in the night hours. And every single stop that we made had to be nearly not second guess, but like to make sure it was like 100% on by the books. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. But at the same time, it's not like in the past we've done anything like illegal or whatever.
Exactly what you're saying.
But here's the thing. But now we are second guessing ourselves on a lawful stop. So let's say hypothetical. You're in the neighborhood as a cop, patrol, detectives, whatever. Lots of break-ins going on in the midnight hours into businesses. Businesses closed. You see a car in the parking lot occupied by a couple people. Don't know what they're doing. What do you typically do? Head over and do a quick FIO.
See what's up. A good little Terry stop.
Exactly. But now we're second guessing ourselves, even on a Terry stop.
You don't want to get sued. You don't want to lose your job.
It's not even I've been sued. It's not even that. It's just, it's not so much what we're worried about with them. We're worried about the state house.
Oh yeah.
That's what the worry more.
You'll get crucified.
I'm not worried about getting fucked. I've been sued, so I'm not worried about getting sued. Just because I'm doing everything right, so you're not going to fucking win, or the city usually pays out anyway. Whether you're right, actually, if you're right, they're going to pay out. You're wrong, they're going to pay out. It doesn't matter anymore. Way. Yeah, they're going to pay either way. But
can you do me a favor?
What?
Can you stop me once we're done?
What do you?
Let me drive through your area and just stop me. That's all.
Okay. All right. I'm going to do that. All right. I got you. They'll pay you.
You knew where I was going.
No, I know where you're going with it. But here's the thing. Like, why are we doing that? Because now that causes a little more safety wise.
It's dangerous.
Like, it's dangerous because now we're like me. Yeah, I'm still going whatever I'm doing. But I'm thinking of like some of the other cops that are tiptoeing rather than actually moving with a purpose to encounter a potential bad guy. Like, here's the thing, majority of people that we stop, which it's funny to me, it's been so long since I worked in the overnight hours. That's why I hate it. One is because all the fucking weirdos out there that just for some reason, especially with like the apps with the Pokemon Go and all that bullshit.
Oh, dude, it's gotten so much worse.
I'm like, whoa, why? Like,
I have never seen so many naked people in my life.
Is there a new challenge going on?
I do. No, it's not one of those app things. It's not one. It's like a total EDP thing.
Oh, EDP. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Every other fucking day I see somebody naked and I'm like, holy shit. I knew I did midnights at the beginning of my career for like 5 years, right? Okay. And then I went to days and 24 hours. Yeah. But when I went back to midnights, like especially when Rona started getting better, people were like fucking walking around naked. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
The episode was going to be about the state of fucking mental health.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. Now we're going to segue real quick. But here's the thing. Like, so going back to the Terry stops, right? We are lawfully fine to Terry stop every motherfucker who's at a store that's already closed after hours, private property. You're not supposed to be there.
Right.
That's good all day long.
Yeah, of course it is.
And to me, just having to think of to justify the stop. I mean, me and my partner, like, we're good. We're good to go. But here's the thing, like, there's always that quick AR. Okay, did we do that right? Yeah, we did it right, dude. Like, yeah. But again, though, it causes the discussion to confuse you more than, AR. Yeah, AR should be, did I approach the car right? Okay, did you get that angle? I got that angle. Were you on the B pillar? Were you on the C pillar? Those are the AR should be. Not, did I lawfully stop that guy?
It comes back to, remember when I was talking about driving a car?
Yeah.
And all the forces and everything that's involved for you to make that proper left turn.
Yep.
Your brain automatically does it. We've been doing it a certain way for the last 20 years, taking that turn.
Yeah.
Now when you're taking that turn, and if you fucking slip off the brake or slip off the gas a little bit,
that's exactly what's happening. Yeah, I like that. That's exactly what's happening.
You slip.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. When you do, 20 years ago, we're doing Terry stops. We weren't thinking. We learned the case law. We know all the case laws behind it. We know we're good to go.
You knew it was good.
You knew it was good all day long. And now, like you said, though, back then it was like, yeah, we're good. Like, tactically, we're moving. We're good. We're keeping our distance.
And let's be clear, we weren't violating people's rights. It was good.
Yeah, it was good. Exactly. Exactly. It was a legit Terry stop. Actually, all my Terry stops were legit Terry stops. Yeah. I'm not worried about that. But that's the thing, though. It's because we worked ourselves, we conditioned ourselves, we taught ourselves and taught through law books and stuff like that of everything to do that's right. And also, trial and error when you go to court, you get your pee-pee slapped on something and you're like, oh, okay, all right, so I did fuck that up. That's okay. You learn. And as you gain experience, like, between you and me, there's over 30 years sitting right here on the job.
40.
Probably 40. Between you and me. And last, the other night, between me and my partner, I'd say 25 years in the car. So you had some experience there.
Yeah.
And my partner, real good, solid guy, solid cop, knows what he's doing, very smart, but has that moment of pause every once in a while. And that's what's going to get the junior guys who really don't know enough about the job, that's going to get them killed.
We're very lucky, Iman. And what I mean by that is we're very lucky that these moments of unclarity, don't go south really quick. We're very lucky.
It is luck, because there's been times where I've heard the horror stories. I'm sure you've heard on patrol and on stops and various things where you're like, dude, you would have been killed.
Yeah, oh, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, you would have been killed.
I've watched some of my own body cameras. The talk about AAR and calling ourselves out. I've watched some of my own body cameras where I was like, why did I do that? Why did I do that? Like, I made a stop a few weeks ago and I let somebody put their hands down.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that.
Yeah.
Probably subconsciously. I've been thinking and questioning and this and that and fuck, you know what I mean?
Again, it's happening. These external forces. Yeah. Again, so we've just dived into internal forces.
Yeah.
What goes on in our minds and what the day's like and the fatigue and the decision-making abilities and the autonomous systems that take over when you're in a high-stress situation to now the external forces. Now, combine these together. What do you have?
Combine the other external forces, the family forces, the taxes.
That's what I mean. The external forces, everything. You combine both of these together.
You have a tornado, dude.
Why is suicide rate in policing so high?
Yeah.
I just looked. I don't know how recent it is, but from Salute the Blue on Instagram, give them a follow. Great group. Their last numbers was 28 this year. Officers who killed themselves in the line.
I can tell you that it's going to be 29 as of yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. Or if that 28 is correct, there was one more. So, look, we're in some shit that people don't realize that, you know, the whole lack of imagination from the public. The public thinks too much in the abstract, right? They look at things in generalities. They almost look at things as if they're lawyers.
Yeah.
Right? They don't look at the details of everything. And when you follow the details, we're very lucky that we're not getting hurt every day. We're very lucky that we're not getting sued every day. We're very lucky that cops aren't dying every day.
Interesting point on that note from Force Science. Their job is not to look at the legal, whatever. They're looking at the human factor, the human performance. What led to this moment?
Yeah.
They take everything. How much sleep did the officer have? What was his last meal? What was the situation?
Yeah.
What was this? What was that? So they go even beyond that.
They go down into the real science behind things.
That's what I mean. That's what they look at for every officer involved shooting is they want to know
all the data points.
That's
real science to me.
That's real science. And then they can tell you the human factor, the human performance behind that officer involved shooting.
You know how I know that Force Science is legit? I know that Force Science is legit because you never see them on fucking Fox News or CNN or as any experts anywhere because they speak too much truth.
Yeah.
The truth doesn't create fucking ratings.
You know, the only channel that they were featured on a couple times is Discovery. That's it.
That's different. Discovery's different.
That's the thing. That's science. You know, that's it.
I get to watch my Ancient Aliens and then some of
exactly. Some Force Science here and there. But so, you know, Pete, we went down a whole different direction, but dude,
we went down in a great direction, man.
Yeah.
We were going to talk about just the mental health aspect of things, but we tied everything together. And that's the way policing is. That's the way life is in general, but that's the way policing is. Everything is tied together. We're a big, well-oiled machine, and if you haven't changed the oil, or if you're not taking proper maintenance and filling those tires in every single fucking way, you're going to break down.
Exactly.
Guys, Project Sapient, check us out, projectsapient.org. Shoot us an email, projectsapient2020@gmail.com. We have tens of thousands of listeners. We love every single one of you. Our supporters, Till Valhalla, AAA, HAVOK Journal, Profiles in HAVOK, Fit Cops, 22 Mohawks. Check out our website. There's plenty of more supporters. We love you guys. Stay safe.
Stay sapient.